All right, so last year I made a list of fragrances that I hoped that, these sort of Middle Eastern and more kind of value oriented inspired fragrance houses would actually make inspirations of. And so I have another list here again today, since we are in the last month of the year. So again, this is going to be a list of fragrances that I'm hoping that those fragrance houses make at some point in time next year. So just to get the list started off here, I'm going to start off with the Louis Vuitton Meteore scent profile. And even though I do have, two of those inspired fragrances in my collection, one being Alexandria Fragrances Le Meteor, the other one being Luciano's Cosmic Rock. Le Meteor, while this one is actually extremely close to, Louis Vuitton's Meteore, this is still very expensive. So, this 30 ml bottle, I believe, 30 mls from Alexandria run probably like around, I don't know, $45 or $46, something like that, which is actually more than what this 100 ml from Luciano actually costs. So this one was like right around $40 for 100 ml. 100 ml of Le Meteor is going to cost you like around $110, $120. So while that's definitely, much cheaper than the Louis Vuitton, it is definitely still a lot more expensive than, what you would get from something like maybe a house like French Avenue or Joe Milano, or even like, Lattafa or something like that. This is definitely going to be, much more expensive than those. So hopefully we can get, a really solid, really accurate interpretation of Louis Vuitton's Meteore from, again, houses like Joe Milano or French Avenue, or possibly even, like the Lattafa Pride collection or something like that. So number one on the list, that one is Meteore. Now, the second one on the list, what I have here is the Blue Talisman scent profile. Now, there is definitely Fragrance World's Atul Al Alam line who has, recently put out their version of that fragrance. I cannot think of the name of that fragrance just off of the top of my head. I'll have it on screen. But that one, it definitely started to get a little bit better as it started to maturate. But overall, I would just say the overall feel of that fragrance is just different, and it's not as high quality as, Blue Talisman is. And then also I did recently smell the one from Yam and Leo. That one was actually quite a disappointment for me. So I'm hoping that, we can get like a French Avenue version of it, or possibly again one from something like, Joe Milano, or even maybe, let's say, like a Paris Corner North Stag line version of that fragrance. I think would be really, really good, man. So definitely number two on the list is Blue Talisman, the scent profile for that. And then the third scent profile on the list, this one is going to be Aventus Cologne. So I feel like there hasn't really been, at least that I can, think of, there hasn't really been really too many Aventus Cologne sort of inspired fragrances outside of houses like, Alexandria or Yam and Leo. I'm pretty sure Dua probably has their interpretation of that fragrance as well. But as far as like the, Middle Eastern houses or, houses like that are more sort of affordable, I feel like I haven't really seen a Aventus Cologne inspired fragrance from any of those. So again, a French Avenue version would definitely be welcome. A Lattafa Pride version, a Paris Corner North Stag Expressions line, or even Joe Milano. I think all of those, to me, are kind of like in the upper echelon of, sort of affordable inspired fragrances. And I think, if either one of those were to make their version of it, I think it would be really good, and definitely it would be welcomed for sure. All right. So that is Aventus Cologne. Now, another one that I have here, and I feel like this scent profile is not like super popular, doesn't really get talked about a lot, but it is definitely one that I love. And this is from Guerlain. It's a part of like their sort of niche line. And this is Tonka Imperiale. So I really, really like the way that Tonka Imperiale smells. It's a really, really nice fragrance. I feel like you can kind of wear that, you know, all year round for the most part. You know, if you're gonna wear it probably in the summertime, though, you would definitely want to more so wear it on like more kind of cooler summer nights or so. But yeah, man, Tonka Imperiale, I feel like, you know, that would be a really good scent profile to bring to the, you know, inspiration, you know, sort of market. I'm trying not to use that C word in this video, but you get what I mean. So yeah, I would really, really love if, you know, one of these inspiration houses, you know, like French Avenue, again, Joe Milano, Lattafa Pride, one of those would put out a really, really accurate interpretation of, you know, Tonka Imperiale. At least, you know, for all of these, I'm hoping that they at least put out something that's like at least 90% and above, you know, close to the original fragrance. You know, that would really, really be welcome. And I would really love if they would do that. The last one on the list, that is going to be Another 13 from Labo. So I really do love the way that, you know, Another 13 smells. And I do understand that for the most part, to really get the exact same smell as Another 13, you know, in all facets of that particular fragrance, you are going to have to, you know, just go out and buy the original. But I do think that, you know, fragrance houses, again, like French Avenue, Lattafa Pride, North Stag, you know, from Paris Corner, or even Joe Milano. I think Joe Milano would actually do a really good job. I think they definitely need to put out, you know, a really solid Another 13 inspiration. Now, I know I did do a video on Joe Milano Ace. From, you know, what I saw before I bought that fragrance, it was kind of like listed or classified as Another 13 inspired fragrance. And then pretty much when I got it, you know, it was something different. From what I understand, that one is supposed to be like a fragrance from Thomas Kosmala, I believe is how you say it. So, you know, that one didn't meet the mark there. But I think, you know, if they can put out Another 13 inspired fragrance, you know, most of their stuff is always at least about 90% and above close to, you know, the original fragrance. And I'm speaking about Joe Milano. So be really nice to see that a part of their sort of like Game of Spades line for sure. But also, you know, I would love to see that from someone like French Avenue as well. You know, French Avenue is definitely, you know, if you follow the channel, it's definitely one of my favorite sort of inspired fragrance houses for sure. I feel like they really put out good stuff. And I mean, they rarely miss for the most part. So Another 13, I would love for someone to put out a really solid inspired fragrance, you know, for that scent profile. That's between, you know, kind of like that $40 and at the most probably $60 mark. You know, for a full 100 ml bottle. So that's my list of my top 5 wishes for 2025 that I hope that these inspired fragrance houses put out. Let me know in the comments what you all have as far as suggestions of, you know, like really high quality, really good, you know, smelling fragrances that just for whatever reason haven't had really good inspired fragrances, you know, done for them that you wish that, you know, would come out in the next year or so. So let me know in the comments. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you all in the next video.